My name is Jonas Slonaker, and I'm a homosexual living in Laramie, Wyoming. Laramie is seen as a very quiet, peaceful town. All the people know each other and can connect with each other. However, Laramie is a very religious town, and one of the main beliefs is that they are against homosexuality. People are usually not physically abused for being gay, but they can be affected by silent stares or brief exchanges. Another thing that I've been annoyed about lately is how the citizens of Laramie are reacting to the murder of Matthew Shepard. They're trying to convince outsiders that Laramie is actually a very peaceful town, and this is the first time that discrimination has ever happened. Well, that's not true. It may have been the first hate crime to the extent of murder, but the verbal and silent abuse occurs every single day. This is just the first time that it has been major enough to make the news. People in this town are only concerned about their reputation and want to be thought of as innocent people. This crime is a perfect symbol of the town of Laramie. I don't care what anyone else says.
So what's your story?
Now, when it came time to go to college, my parents they couldn't afford to send me to college. I wanted to study theater, become an actor, and I knew that if I was going to college, I was going to have to get a scholarship, and I thought of the perfect way to do it. They have this competition each year, this Wyoming State high school competition, where you can get a scholarship if you win, and I knew I could get first place in duets. It was the only possible way. So what I did was, I went down to the Department of Theater in the university, and I asked one of the professors for a piece. And I was like, I really need a killer scene so I can get into college. And then he said, I have just the thing. Here you go. It was from Angels in America. Once I read it, I knew I could potentially win the competition if I did a good enough job. When the time came, I told my mom and dad so that they would come to my competition. My parents go to everything, literally everything I've ever done. Just before they took me into their room, I thought of how they would be so proud of me that I was going to get into college off a scholarship. Well, that is, if I acted this out correctly. But when they brought me into their room and told me that if I did this scene, they would not come to see me in the competition no matter what.
So what are your parents' views on homosexuality?
Well, they believed homosexuality was so wrong and so bad that they wouldn't want to see their own son perform on stage for the most important thing he'd do at this point in his life. I was in shock as to how they reacted. I was stunned that my own parents could say that. So what I did was I decided to go against that, which I've never done before, and to do that scene. That is the scene that could get me a college education. The only important thing I remember from the performance that I did was that there was a standing ovation for me and my partner that I did the scene with. And, well, my parents weren't there to see it. We took first place and won it all. The play is like the only reason why I'm here talking to you today. And it's probably the best thing I've ever done. However, my parents, though, they didn't get to see it. So why did I do it? Why did I oppose my parents? Well, I mean, I'm not gay, so why did I do it? And I guess the honest answer, well, is that I wanted to win. Never done.
I feel awful for Jedediah. This is the biggest thing that he will ever do in his life so far, and his parents aren't going to even be there to see it. Jedediah's parents have to put their religious views aside for a second and put their kid first. I would think that supporting their kid would be a little bit more important than sticking up for their religion. I also respect Jedediah tremendously for not giving in to his parents and giving up the scene. This is something that he really wants to do, and he isn't going to let his parents' false actions get in his way.
There are certain things that I think about when I'm at church. Our reverend doesn't agree with homosexuals.
There's this new thing throughout the town. If two people of different sexual orientations are walking down the street together, they do not talk to each other or interact. It's even in some books now. Live and let live. If I don't tell you I'm a homosexual, I won't get beat up or killed. How does that make sense? Why would I even get beaten up for being a fag, queer, or homosexual? Conrad Miller.
If my kids were to ask me about homosexuality, I would say that gays are compared to animals. In society, animals are considered savages. People don't like them. In fact, some people are even scared of them. Their actions are disgusting and bizarre.
In this world, there are really a lot of more gay people than you think. The homosexuals in the town know who they should talk to and who they really shouldn't. They know that if they talk to a straight person, they're asking for a huge beating. All homosexuals should know that if they try to pick up or make a pass on a straight person, there will always be some consequences. We can blame some of the death of Matthew Shepard on himself because he tried to pick up two straight men at a bar.
I'm a homosexual, and I don't want myself being in the same situation that Matthew was in. Also, you know this could happen anytime. If I was walking down the street with my partner and I was holding her hand or showing any affection, I would probably be looked at with a nasty attitude. And I would be afraid to continue to walk down the street.
Go. There are certain things that I think about when I'm at church. Our reverend doesn't agree with homosexuals. I really don't know if I agree with him or not yet. I was raised in a Christian family. They told me that being gay is not acceptable, and it is a sin. But if God wanted people to be gay, then why would he have made them that way? I really don't hate homosexuals, but I'm not going to get involved with them yet. I may not believe in homosexuality, but I'm completely against persecuting them.
There's this new thing throughout the town. If two people of different sexual orientations are walking down the street together, they don't talk to each other or interact. It's even in some books now. Live and let live. If I don't tell you I'm a homosexual, then I won't get beat up or killed. How does that make sense? Why would I even get beaten up for being a fag, a queer, or a homosexual? I find it very disturbing that homosexuals living in Laramie must keep their mouths shut in order to stay safe. Why should someone have to keep their choice of lifestyle to themselves? And then the one bold person who decides to come out and admit their homosexuality, they get beaten up. That's not right. There are many things that must be fixed in Laramie. People need to learn what is right and how to treat people that are not their kind. But they're getting there. Just some more time, and they'll be there.
Does this look right? Aiden. Aiden.
1 second. Mills, don't laugh.
Tell me when you're ready. Mills, what are you doing?
Alright, yeah,
Is this good?
Ready, set, go.
And I would be afraid to continue to walk down the street.
I started laughing at it. So,
Could you hear my laughing from the back?
start this.
Ready? You ready?
Ask me if I was ready. I gotta get ready. Alright. And go. There are certain